now let's hop into the content for today, and that is Wix Blog. So we're going to talk about Wix Blogs today, and this will be the first app we officially unpack on my channel as well as the community channel. I've realized that a lot of people have a question about new blog versus old blog, and what's going on with that. So as of right now, all current Wix websites will start to have the new blog. So they all have the new blog now. Whenever you add a blog, that's what happens. You get the new one. And for anyone that had doubts with the new blog about not having the same functionality or not having the proper SEO or not having the new styling, anything like that, all of that has been fixed and corrected by Wix. You now have access to have top-notch SEO on your blog post, as well as have all of that same old blog functionality on the new blog. So let's go into showing you how to add the blog and then adding some customization tips from that point. So to add a blog, guys, what we're going to do is we're going to go over here to the left-hand side and we're going to click Add Apps. Once we click that, we're simply going to type into our search bar blog, and then we'll see Wix Blog. So we'll see Wix Blog there. You click it, and then you'll click Add to Site. When you do that, it's going to add a new page on your website. This is going to be your blog specific page. So this is where your main blog will be housed. At this part of your website is where you'll control the blog for the most part. Now, what people don't know, which I'll show you as soon as the blog is added and it loads, looks like it's taking its jolly old little time here, is some of the things you could add with the blog. So a lot of people don't know about widgets the blog offers or anything like that are actually pretty useful to utilize in other places on your website. So now that our blog is added, you can see the new feel is a lot more clean. It's a lot more modern than the old blog look. The old blog look was a little clunky, a little outdated, not as modernized, and not as clean as the new blog. So that's number one, the plus for the new blog versus the old blog. But number two, let's talk about some of the editing styles and how we can manage our posts and edit the layout and design of the actual physical blog itself. So if we click on the blog and click settings, it'll open up our Wix blog settings. We'll let it load here, and then we see a couple different options. We see main, so this is where you'll manage the blog from. I'll show you that, we'll come back to it. But where we're gonna go first is settings. So you can choose a blog subject right here. So whatever niche your blog is, maybe you're a finance business, maybe you're in fitness, maybe you own a photography company, maybe you've got your own little private community. Whatever you are, this is where you can choose that niche and add it as that specific niche for your blog. In our case, you know what, we'll say we're a private community because we are the Wix community. We are a private community, open to the public. So I know that's a little bit contradictory, but guess what? We are one tight-knit private community in the fact that we are all here together enjoying Wix training content, guys. So now that we've got our private community subject, that's what our blog is all about. We also have a pretty cool feature that Wix has released, which allows you, if you check this on, to send email notifications each time you submit a new blog post. So each time you post a new blog, an email could be sent out to your subscribers. So one, that ups your viewership rate. So it ups your read-through rate. It'll get more people to click onto your blog, more people to read your content. And then by doing that, ultimately, it's a trickle-down effect. So what happens is you get more people to see your content, more people will then share your content, more people will then take other action on your website. It's just the power of numbers. If you think about it, everything we do in marketing and business is math. As much as some of you don't like to hear that, maybe some of you are not math whizzes, or math is not your favorite subject, but ultimately that's what it boils down to. The more numbers equals the more this, the more that. So the more conversions, the more purchases, that kind of thing. So if you could drive more people to your blog by adding email notifications each time you post a blog post, well, then you're winning. And you're doing a good job because you're increasing your numbers and you're creating a little sense of brand loyalty. People that are subscribed to your blog, they know that they're going to get content and they're never going to miss a piece of your writing. So it's a win-win for everybody there. Next is our display options. So this is what we can show right here on the physical blog post. So you can see we have the option to add the author name, and the picture of the author. You could add the date, the view counter, the comments counter, and the likes counter. Now, if you don't want certain ones on here, like if you don't want people to see how many views your blog has, you just check that off, and then it won't show the number of views. Or you don't want people to see how many or what date you posted it, you just take that off. You don't have to show the dates, that easy. I'm gonna keep it on. And then you could also have a blog menu, and you could add a login so people can actually sign up to your blog or log into your blog and then post, kind of like a forum type setup. You don't have to have that, you don't have to add that, but you can, and it would be added right here in the menu. I'll take it off for the time being just because. And then we have our layout. So this is where you actually choose what your layout of the blog looks like. So you can see Wix has preloaded a few good custom layouts in here. This is the side-by-side look. You can see a more unconventional look is like the brick look. It's a little bit more staggered, a little bit more abstract. There's the tiled look, which is also kind of like that, a little bit more staggered and abstract. You could go with the magazine look, which is picture focused. So this is more like picture-centric, meaning that there's more, the picture's the highlight of the post here. Or you could go with the standard like full blog post. So this will show your full blog post on that page. This isn't my personal favorite. Really, I'd like to get people in. Usually the more posts you can show, the better off you're gonna be. So that way you can drive people in. You just have to work on, writing catchy preview text and catchy titles to get people into the post to actually read it, as well as a good blog thumbnail. You want to have a good thumbnail as well. And then you have the option for category pages as well. So these are for your specific blog categories, which I'll show you how to manage in a second. And again, you get to pick the look and feel of these as compared to your actual physical main blog post. After you've decided on your layout, you got to come in here to your design. This is where you can change what the menu looks like at the top, what font you use, the color, the background. This is where you choose the post design, so you can choose the font of the post, the color of the text, the description, what the colors look like, what the font looks like, the borders, all that kind of good stuff, as well as the buttons and backgrounds, what color they are, what color the text is on the buttons, that type of thing. Again, this is all up to you. Whatever your design style is, follow suit with the rest of your website. That's what you should be doing for design. And then obviously support, and then we have a few add-ons. So this is what I was telling you about. So creating a custom feed here, if you add this custom feed can be added to any page. So if you want to give like a 3 blog post snippet on your home page, you can actually click add to page here, and you can add it just like this to your home page. So then if that happens, I'll show you. It'll take us back to our home page now. And then you can see the blog custom feed has been added. Just like the regular blog, you could press settings and you can manage how the feed looks. You can change the display, and then you can even choose what category of posts are featured in these 3 blog. Well, you could actually choose how many blog posts you want featured here. You can see number of posts to show. You could alter this number as needed to however many you want to show on whatever page, however many pages you want to do that on. It's completely up to you. There's no limit to the amount of custom feeds you could add. But that's how you do that, and you can, like I said, you can choose a category. You can use all posts, so it'll show the most recent, or it can only show featured, or maybe you have a specific niche category that you want to show posts for. Whatever your method is your method. That's totally up to you. I'm going to delete that off the home page and go back to our blog. Once on our blog, guys, I'm going to now click this, and I'm now going to click Manage Posts. So if we open this up here, it'll take us to our blog manager. It's going to load up here. In the meantime, Dutch Bros Coffee, guys, powering me through my days. Thank you to Dutch Bros for always providing me a very solid coffee. Doesn't get better than that. Alright guys, so now we're in our blog manager. So number 1, you could choose what your author name is right here. So this is the name that'll show up as the author on those blog posts. And you could also change your author image if you want to start using a different image for your author profile image. So that's number 1 first and foremost. Number 2, you're going to want to get familiar with this button. This is the Create New Post button. So if we click that, this is the new blog editor. So you can come in here, you could add a title. We'll just say, how are you? Don't actually use that as a title. Start optimizing your titles for SEO. Get it as optimized as possible, keyword loaded where you can. So that's your title right there, and then this is your actual blog content. So I am doing fantastic today. Go Wix. Okay, so that's our content. Then maybe we want to add an image. So then you could add either from down here, you could add an image, you can add a gallery, you can add video, you can add a divider, or you can add some HTML code. Or if you like to add it specifically where you're at on the page, just click this little plus button and the same options apply. And then you just simply pick whatever one of these you want. If you click add video, you can add a YouTube, Vimeo, or Facebook video with the URL, and then you just simply click add now. Very simple, very easy, done, just like that. So that's how you actually edit the post. Now to edit your actual blog SEO and all of your image, alt text, all that good stuff, you could go up here to post settings, and then number one, you choose who your author is. Mine doesn't have anything right now because I'm the sole author on this website, so it doesn't really apply. Number two, you could add your display image here. So this will be the image that is shown up on your blog posts throughout your website. So make sure you choose an appealing image to gather people and attract their interest. You can choose to feature this post. So if you want to create this as a featured post, and you can choose whether that image is displayed or not displayed. I would always recommend displaying it, but that's totally up to you. The next thing is your categories. So this is where your categories lie. You can create new categories by clicking create new categories, and we'll just say checking up because we're saying how are you, and then that's now added as a new category. And if you want to say it's part of getting started, you just click it, and now it's added to those two categories. You can have up to 10 categories on here. And last but not least, we have our SEO, and this is where you could change your post URL. You could change what the title says in the search engines, and then you could add a search engine description right here. And then once you're done with all of that, you would click save, and then you could click these three little dots to either save this blog post as a draft or go into your post settings or choose a category. It's that simple to add a blog post. Obviously, when you're ready to go, click publish and it'll publish it to your website. So that's adding a post. Now to manage your posts, you could come in here. This is your published post list. Again, to edit your post, you would click edit, and then it would bring you to that same blog editor that we were just in. I don't need to go into detail because we just did that. And then you could also click this if you wanted to duplicate a post, delete your post, or turn off the commenting capabilities. You can do that from these three little dots right here. And last but not least, this is where your drafts are housed. So we just created a draft. We could go back in, edit that draft, and then publish it when we're ready, or keep it a draft until we're ready to go ahead and publish it. And just like that, guys, that is Wix Blogs. That's what it boils down to. You can see all of that old functionality from the old blog is in the new blog and is actually enhanced. Wix has done a fantastic job with, number one, the design of the new blog, much more trendy, much more clean, and added all of those old features that we all knew and loved. So